nickname stuck. So
Y'all just been the little giants ever since.
we've been a little
Man,
giant.
we gotta figure out a mascot for MVP University, man.
I'm gonna think of one.
We can't be the cap and gowns.
No, we're gonna have one real soon. Yo, man, if y'all tuning in with us right now, we are currently live. You know, it's just a little side talk with my crew, man. But do me a favor, I need you to like, share, subscribe, and follow us on every social media platform at _MVPU_. That's on Twitter. You can follow us on YouTube at MTMV Sports, and you just hit the like button, subscribe button, and notifications whenever we go live. I'm telling y'all do not want to miss this episode tonight, man. We got a packed show for y'all today.
Yo,
welcome, man. We live, man. We live.
I'm in the locker room, guys. Yay!
Yo, Westside is actually in the FAMU locker room.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? We're just trying to execute and establish a run game.
Hey,
one do is just execute
for a minute. You know, y'all were slightly competitive Saturday for you know.
Oh,
a
for
quarter, a minute,
for literally a minute.
That wasn't bad considering y'all had 25 guys out,
which is very questionable to me. Like
at 7 O linemen. So,
like,
can I tell you what I found out?
What to find out?
What's up?
Okay, so apparently the players wrote a letter to the athletic department. There are issues.
That letter was lit.
And I didn't read it all, but apparently here's some of the issues in the athletic department. They have one academic officer, not for the football team, for the entire department.
Entire school. Yes.
The compliance officer and the financial aid officer, same guy. Also, so the players said they're gonna kneel in protest till this gets addressed. There's been issues with access to classes for summer school. Isaiah Land is ineligible because apparently he didn't take enough classes during the summer, so he's not on his graduation track. The NCAA cut his suspension was supposed to be for the season. The NCAA cut it to 4 games. He and right tackle Cam Coven have retained the services of Tom Mars. If that name is not familiar to you, Tom Mars is the attorney that his net is helping guys get eligible.
Yeah. But my thing is, okay, FAMU is not a small university. You know what I'm saying? It's not
a public school.
It's a public school. Like, they should have more, and they have a great athletic department. Like, you know what I'm saying? The basketball team is now a sponsor partner with LeBron. You know what I'm saying? And the LeBron James organization. Like,
that don't matter. Like, you gotta look at it like this. They still want to live off classics and classic monies and getting beat up money. They don't want to they don't have like, you know, alumni that's real strong in giving.
But that's crazy, dude. Well, okay, now I will back that up because Will Packer he supports, but he doesn't support the athletics. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's really just something that we really gotta dive into more in detail because, man, it's a lot of HBCU schools out here that has ineligible players because it's only one academic advisor, one financial aid person over the whole athletic department, which is totally each sport should have a designated person. You know what I'm saying, to help organize that, because like you said, if he didn't take enough classes during the summertime, I'm pretty sure he would want to have he would have taken those classes, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he want to play football. He's the defending he's the reigning defensive player of the year winner.
Yeah,
outside linebacker. You know what I'm saying?
And Willie Simmons come out and he said that I guess there was some bad journalism saying that Isaiah Land had failed some classes this summer. He didn't fail any classes. He passed the classes that were given to him. There was just some classes he was supposed to take that he didn't take. And Coach Simmons, like, he took the classes they told him to take. So,
that's the only thing he can do. Like, whatever his advisor told him to take, he took. But
my thing is, It's not the fact that, you know what I'm saying, we're dealing with the class thing. It's the fact that when we're dealing with transfer students in all these transfer ported students, and you know all the other other accolades, all the academic struggles that we're going through right now, what's killing me is that, you know, they cry and cry and cry in this community here in Tallahassee. They cry and cry. Respect FAMU, show us love, treat us like the rest of the schools, but you continue being funny with your own money. You're funny with your own money. You're funny with your own academic process. You're funny with these kids. Half the kids, dog. Tell me why half the kids couldn't eat this summer, bro. That's including some of my old students. Half of them couldn't eat this summer. Are you serious? Y'all telling me y'all got that doggone cafeteria upstairs? Y'all couldn't figure out a meal plan for the football team, the money maker.
Well, look, Conrad. But this is something that we've seen, and look, I know they're HBCUs, but we got to hold our own people accountable.
Yeah,
this was you look at how long it took for the housing to be available at Howard.
Right.
And now I just read a report because of the flood in Jackson. You know, Coach Prime is having issues making sure that the football team has water, and not just the football team, the entire city.
Yeah.
And I read I want to say with the Jackson Clarion Ledger, I read that the city is going to be on a boil order indefinitely. So of course, and Jackson State is in the heart of North Jackson. Mm-hmm. So that's a whole mess. I mean, you go back to the summer, you know, Coach Prime's helping Coach Dancy get a practice field for Mississippi Valley State. I watched that video. That's not a practice field. It's grass with two goalposts and the tower with the coach's stand. That's not a practice field.
But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Conrad. You said you made a statement prior to this. Would you say FAMU's football team is really their moneymaker, or is it the band?
They're moneymaker. Let me tell you. The reason why their band gets to go places, it's not because of the band. It's because of the football team. The thing is, some places don't even allow the bands to just come by itself. You need the football team to be there. Like, you're not going to play in a North Carolina venue without the football team playing in North Carolina. You're not going to play in a Arkansas venue without the Florida FAMU football team being there. You're not going to play in a Miami venue. You're not going to play in these top venues and then expect these doggone teams, expect these teams to just be like, yo, yeah, so who are we playing? Because we don't care, dog. We don't care about the bands. No one really cares about the bands. In regular football, no one cares about the bands.
Okay, so I
want to answer your question. So what I'm saying to you is, yes, they're money makers. The football team. It's not the band. The band can get signed with the doggone Kendrick Lamar and all them Fashion Week and all that, and do whatever. But only a select few of the kids go with that. It's not the whole entire Marching 100. It's just like Marching 50 at that point. You know what I mean?
Conrad, you just gave me an idea for a story. I would be interested to see which one, if any, because most FCS schools actually lose money on football, and they recoup their budget when they go play an FBS school and get that paycheck game. One of the if there is an HBCU, and you know, I'm getting enough heat on Facebook, on my Facebook groups for caping for Jackson State. Jackson State may be the only one. Because if you remember last week, Conrad, you and I talked, I mean, they're second in FCS in attendance. They're really the only HBCU where fans attend in mass.
So
that's interesting.
I will say this now. When you say HBCU, I would say, if I'm not mistaken, I think Albany State has a pretty good showing. The only, in my opinion, the only reason Clark Atlanta and Morehouse has a good showing because it's in Atlanta, and then you know what I'm saying. The school, like when Morehouse has a home game, I think if Morehouse has a 12 o'clock game Clark Atlanta has a later game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So that particular body is going to congregate right there because like everything's right there in the middle. So,
but Morehouse is D2 though, right?
Morehouse and Clark Atlanta.
Yeah. So when you talk
like
about
cherries, smells like cherries, bro.
Well, when you talk about FCS, that Division I AA, like I want to say, actually, so the team that led in attendance for years is now in the Sun Belt, and that's James Madison. So you're talking about teams like Delaware, Central Arkansas, North Dakota State.
But North Dakota State is different though. Like they have a history of attendance. You know what I'm saying?
And they lead FCS in attendance. But you know who's second in FCS in attendance? Jackson State. In all of FCS.
Yeah.
So I want to say they've got a 40,000 seat stadium, and they averaged about 32,000 last year.
But here's the thing though. So prior to prom game,
if I'm not mistaken, the article I read, Jackson State's been top 5, top 10 in attendance in FCS for the last 5-6 years. So we're talking about pre-prime.
So let me ask you a question. Jackson State is in the heart of Jackson. Jackson State is Jackson.
Yes.
What would you rank Georgia Southern? Because if you think about it, Georgia Southern is the heart of Statesboro, Georgia.
And they come out of Georgia Southern. Like, so, and I think when you talk about Georgia and you talk about football, you're talking about culture. Because, most of those, I mean, you go to a D3, not D3, D2, like Valdosta State, they sell out almost every game. They have a smaller stadium, but when you talk about, I mean, per capita, Georgia is a serious football state. I mean, it's like Georgia, in many ways, Georgia's is like mini Texas when it comes to football.
Yeah.
Right. And then you got Florida around the way. Like you gotta develop a culture. And that's the thing. You being here in the state of Florida, you have not developed that culture of, hey, we want football. You know what I mean? We want all teams to be successful in football. You know what I'm saying? We have been so stuck with the big three for so long, with the Gators, Florida State, and Miami. We've been stuck with the big three that we don't really recognize anybody else. UCF just getting into the mix, people talking about UCF. Now Florida A&M they're getting this wave because HBCUs are getting a wave. So everybody's talking about FAMU only because your favorite rapper has 3 girlfriends out here. You know what I mean? So like let's be honest. This is the only reason why people will talk about FAMU beforehand, because Rick Ross had a girl that went to Florida State and went to FAMU.
And I also like you said with the big three in Florida, like you said, FAMU, Bethune-Cookman, like people underestimate, like it's a lot of HBCUs in Florida that a lot of people don't know about. Like Edward Waters, that's an HBCU.
Florida Memorial.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But my thing is, what will it take for those schools to really get exposed? And it's the boosters, like
absolutely.
The alumni and the boosters have really got to give back.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they got to give back because like Morgan State, bro, man, it's a guy I used to work with, bro. Morgan State's alumni chapter in Atlanta alone bringing some money. And they send
they need to give it to the football program.
But so what they do with that money is like they spread it throughout the entire university. Like I forgot the breakdown of it, but they send a nice little check to the school. But my thing is, what is the school doing with the money? Are they adequately providing that to athletics?
That's a great question. I think when you first of all, I love this inside baseball conversation. This is like the stuff I dig out on. Well, I think when it comes to HBCU culture is different. I don't know if you can really look at.
No, it's very different.
Yeah. Right. So and as I joked with Jeremiah several times, this is coming from someone who went to there was a school opposite of the HBCU. That's where I graduated from. Like my school was the 4 Horsemen on the 5 Heartbeats. That's the school I went to. But you know, and so I went to school close to Indianapolis, and I remember the first time I went to the Circle City Classic. And I want to say it was Howard and Hampton played the Circle City Classic. I was in 97, 98. And I go and win at the time it was the Hoosier Dome. I'm like, man, this Circle City Classic, why is it half full? And then halftime came and people coming into the stadium. And it was about 80% full. And then halftime's over and everybody leaves.
Yeah, and that's about right, because like you said, man, it's so many. The bands and HBCU really makes the atmosphere right. You know what I'm saying?
But like I think when it comes to football, in some ways, there's a model. I reckon if you got the Florida logo. Early 90s, I think that's when Greg Sankey took over as commissioner of the SEC.
Right.
He got the university presidents together and was like, he was really the first, him and Jim Delaney, who was the commissioner of the Big Ten for years, they were kind of on the ground floor. They were kind of like, y'all know what? We're negotiating our own contracts. ESPN is exploding. They need content year round. We can feel a part of that content. And they basically said, we're going to get good at football. So when we negotiate these TV deals, they'll consistently be in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah. And Google search it, do the research, start from about 1992 when the Alabama Crimson Tide won national championship in 92. You look at that 30-year span and see who's won the most national titles in football. By far, it's been the SEC.
Yeah. And hey, man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This was a good student-centered conversation, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is what we talk about here on MVP University, man. So y'all who watching us, thank y'all for joining us, man. You know, this is what we do. And you know what I'm saying? Now I'm finna leave the student center. I'm finna go to the yard, man. So you know what I'm saying? I'm finna see what the yard's popping like. You know what I'm saying? All the fly little honey, you know what I'm saying? Walk around, you know, throwing the football. My guys, what's up, bro? I see you over there throwing the football, man. You can't catch though. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Professor talk to man. You can't. So catch,
listen, I've been on the yard. I'm listening to the Greeks. I'm listening to the co-eds. I'm listening to the students. I'm listening to my colleagues.
The pro fights.
And yeah, listen.
Pro fights.
You know, listen. The custodians and the ground crew, they want to know what happened in Dublin, Ireland, Nebraska.
Oh, come on. Let me tell you. Can I go? Scott, can I go? Please let me ride.
To you, because when you done, I'm gonna sound off.
But okay, go ahead.
Scott Frost needs to be fired
right now.
Scott Frost, you went and required all them boys from Texas, Florida, Arizona, and California, great talent, and you still could not close out a game. It's time for you to go, Billy Boy. You call an onside kick. It's time for you to go, Playboy. Wait. You put your quarterback in a position to where he throws a lazy ball to where it hits your tight end's hands and they pick it off and close the game up. Oh yeah, it's time for you to go, Playboy. It's time to go. And just juke to the door. Quick walk to the door. It's time to go, bro. What is going on there in Lincoln, Nebraska? You go across the water and embarrass a whole state. You're done. You're done, Scott. Bye. I'll see you later. Come back to UCF.
So my thing is, bro. Okay. There was 11 points, right? Wasn't it 11, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, they were up 11.
They was up 11.
11.
Yeah.
You up 11 and you had the ball in your possession. What was it? Like I'm going to Professor with this one. Like what do you think was going through his head at that particular time? Bro, you. But it had to be something, Bro, I'm saying you had Northwestern locked down. Like the game was over. You dominated that game statistically. You dominated that game.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No, this was supposed to be Nebraska's year to make some noise.
Okay, I didn't see it. I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't see it. So I'll do the analysis, and I'll give my commentary on what happens when you don't treat people right. I had a legitimate concern when Scott Frost was hired, and everybody thought I was crazy. I got heat on social media, I got heat on Facebook, and nobody, because there was this expectation that he was going to be able to run the offense, the Central Florida offense / the Oregon offense before it was the Central Florida offense at Nebraska. But here's the difference between Central Florida and Nebraska. Central Florida is in Orlando, Florida. Nebraska is in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
And my concern was, could he recruit the players to Nebraska? Because here's the thing about UCF. You may not be able to find 6 foot 225 Jalen Knighton who can run a 4.3 40, University of Miami. But you know what? You can find 5'9", 185 Ron Killings Jr. who can run a 4.3. That's great for UCF.
Out of Mainland High School. Shout out.
Listen, you may not be able to find 6 foot 210 pound 4.2 40 wide receiver. Yeah, your wide receivers may be 5'10", 5'11", but they still run. You can still find the speed to run that offense.
Yeah. In Florida, you will find
that's not translating to. That was my number one concern. Number two, he went to Nebraska. Nebraska built national championships on probably the best walk-on program ever in college football. You go back when Tom Osborne was coaching that team, even Frank Solich, when they were winning national championships, their O-line and D-line were predominantly walk-ons. Right? That was my number one concern. With this, last year, everybody talking about best 3-9 team ever because they had all these one-possession losses. My question is real simple. When does it stop being a coincidence, and when does it start being your fault? In addition, if they were so close, then why did he overhaul the whole coaching staff?
He did.
That's not why he deserves to be fired. He deserves to be fired because his two best recruiting classes, not a single starter from those recruiting classes finished their careers at Nebraska. Adrian Martinez transferred to Kansas State. Wandale
I got two
transferred to Kentucky. J.D. Spellman transferred. All of the best players transferred out.
Yeah,
true. Marvin Scott transferred to doggone FAU.
That's a culture issue, and he's got no juice on the recruiting trail now.
No.
So he's not going to get fired till October.
No,
let me tell you why he's not going to get fired till October.
He's going before then.
No, this is why he's not. Right now, his buyout's $15 million. That buyout drops to $7.5 million after the Indiana game in October. And Nebraska is paying over $24 million to ex-head football coaches. They're not so if once his buyout drops, he's out of there.
So I will give you a quick little stat. So Scott Frost came to Nebraska in 2008. I think he did run down. Scott Frost was supposed to be the coach that turns that university around. 2018, my bad. 2008, he came in 2018. He was supposed to be the coach to turn the university around football wise. You know what I'm saying? 2018, 4-8. 2019, 5-7.
Got an extension, 5-7.
2020
got an extension for 5-7.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why the buyout's $15 million.
2020, 3-5. 2021, 3-9. They are paying this coach just to be there. They are paying him just for his name. Hey, that's the only thing I can think of.
And the team they lost to,
don't worry about it.
The team they lost to was the only team they beat last season. Listen, no, I'm convinced Trev Albert gave him this extra year because that buyout number is huge. And they're, like I said, man, they're paying $24 million plus. That you're talking Bo Pelini, Mike Riley. Man, they still paying Bill Callahan.
Yeah.
So once that buyout number drops, he's gonna get fired this year. There's no listen.
unless he comes back with
the culture's bad.
two great wins. I'm talking about 2 back-to-back great wins because you see his schedule. He plays Oklahoma.
He's going to have to go to the conference title game to say.
Listen, if the only way, if I'm Trev Albert, the only way I'm keeping him is if he wins 11 straight and gets to the college football playoff. That's the only way.
That's the only way.
Because even if he wins 8 games this year, you got to look at the totality of this program. They have I don't think they have a top 150 recruit coming in.
Nope.
Like they talked about Adrian Martinez, they got him from Ohio State. No, they really didn't get Adrian Martinez from Ohio State because when he was being recruited by Ohio State, they told Adrian Martinez he's gonna have to play another position if he wanted to play. He won't go play quarterback for Ohio State,
right?
Who's once again at Kansas State. He's not even there anymore. The program's got no juice. He's got nothing on the recruiting trail. They have no offensive identity, and the defense that kept him in all those games last year, those guys transferred. You can't keep a guy who can't keep the best players. And here's the thing: Nebraska's got 2 things. They've got money and they've got resources. Because that Nebraska money stays in Nebraska. Like you don't have a lot of big time alums coming into Lincoln to go to the University of Nebraska. They're usually from Nebraska and they usually work in Omaha. So like, for example, Mutual of Omaha, like one of the biggest insurance companies in the country, Nebraska alum runs that company, right? So they've got the money,
NCAA baseball,
but they need a coach who's going to do some old school Nebraska stuff and kind of mix it with some new school football stuff. And Scott Frost is just not that guy. So one last thing about treating people right. Nebraska getting everything they deserve because when they fired Frank Solich, that athletic director threw him under the bus, saying we need to modernize the game. And Frank Solich ain't the guy to modernize it. And they threw him out on his tail in a very, very mean way. And that's what happened when you're mean to people. You get stuff like Scott Frost.
You bullies.
Exactly.
Hey, but Conrad, here's my question to you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Nebraska is still a marquee job?
Oh, of course. Bro, do you know how many times I played NCAA football and I prayed that Nebraska hired me? Nebraska never hired me, bro. I had to start off with Nebraska. Bro, you want the Nebraska job, even if you're in the video game world or if you're in the real world. Nebraska is a marquee job, marquee position for a head coach. You can go to Nebraska, and if you know what you're doing, not Scott Frost, if you know what you're doing, you can get that black shirt defense back. If you know what you're doing, you can get the talent that you need to get to come to Doggo, Nebraska. I've seen guys from Florida, from Daytona Beach, from Miami, all go to Nebraska, and all of a sudden they playing in the Big 12 title game and throwing doggone what's your boy name? Colt McCoy around with the Gobblin Sue. Bro, you can't buy that, bro. You need this job. Yeah.
So
bro,
I don't know if I would
hold on, Professor. If someone comes up knocking to your door, Professor, and say, hey, I need you to build a program. Nebraska's yours. Go ahead. You ain't excited?
Yeah. I don't know if I would go so far as marquee. Now you gotta understand, I'm probably a smidge older than y'all gentlemen. So I came up when Nebraska was the program. I don't know if you can do that at Nebraska, but in the Big Ten, in the Big Ten West, they should be competing with Iowa and Wisconsin at the top of that division.
So you're saying right now. So the reason I asked that question, okay, looking at the history of Nebraska football, that at one point Nebraska football was, like you said, it was the school, it was the Alabama, it was the Georgias. You know what I'm saying?
Power football.
It was great football. They were winning year in. Up under Bo Pelini, they was winning year in and year out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
power football.
Let's say
power football.
Let's just say a coach who was once a head coach in the NFL or in college ranks. Now he's an offensive coordinator and he's looking to reestablish his career. For instance, Bill O'Brien, offensive coordinator for Alabama right now.
No, that's not the move.
I'm just saying.
Continue. I got the coach.
I'm just saying. But what if that once that job comes open, and Nebraska be like, okay, let's try a different route, and let's go get Bill O'Brien to come in and see can he change that coach around? Because when Bill O'Brien was at Penn State, that was
considering
rocking.
what he walked into. I absolutely agree.
And he changed that program. So would that be something that if that happened, how surprised would you be? You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't be. And if I'm Nebraska, if I can make a splashy move, I make a splashy move. But let the professor take you out of class. There is a program in the Big Ten West who's playing the way Nebraska used to play and routinely wins 10 games. That's Wisconsin. Why does Wisconsin play that? Why does Wisconsin play that way? There's a reason. There's a man who became the head coach of Wisconsin in the early 90s by the name of Barry Alvarez. Where did Barry Alvarez coach before he got the head coaching job at Wisconsin? Nebraska. He took the Nebraska system and the Nebraska model to Wisconsin and they won. If I'm Nebraska, if he take the job, my first call, I'm calling Wisconsin defensive coordinator Jim Leonhard. Because I need that model at Nebraska. Because I can grow offensive linemen at Nebraska. I can find a good running back at Nebraska.
You can
do that. I don't think it makes any sense to try to be the 7th best spread offense in the Big Ten. Because you're not going to get the receivers that Ohio State's getting.
No.
You may not even get the receivers Purdue is getting. But I look at what listen, and I'm sorry, and I like Purdue a lot in the Big Ten West this year. But I look at how PJ Fleck recruits to Minnesota. That's how Nebraska should recruit. They can, because of their resources and their reach, they can be one of the better developmental programs in the country.
Yeah. And like you said, like they have the resources, they have the money. And me personally, I do think that with the right coach, Nebraska could, make some noise in the Big Ten. Would they dethrone Ohio State?
No.
Would they dethrone Michigan from being the top program? No, never. No. But with them being they're in the East, right?
They're in the West.
They're in the West. With them being in the West, they could, if with the right coach, they could definitely run the West.
And the thing is,
okay, so
if they're winning 10 plus, hold on, if they're winning 10 plus, at some point when the playoff expands, you win 10 plus in the Big Ten and find yourself in the Big Ten championship game, even if you lose in a 12 to 16 team college football playoff, maybe in that large bid.
That 12 to 16 college football playoff, I don't like the sound of that.
You don't?
No, give me the top.
Happen. Like it tonight.
Give me the top 8. I'll take the top 8.
Still, it's gonna happen regardless of.
I resigned myself.
All right,
to it's gonna happen.
I got one piece. And I just want to know, like, and I don't say I really want to know. It's just like, is it me or is it that I feel like they're running that program in they're running the programs right now like the lower level programs. They're running them like JUCOs. Lower level programs are getting run like JUCOs.
Now
we're talking about like we get a kid that's showing out in the American Conference. He goes to doggone STC and shows out some more. It's like we're making the lower level teams these JUCOs, and JUCOs start to be irrelevant now because you find a JUCO player. JUCO's another high school now.
I would say some JUCO football programs are ran like weld oil machines.
Yeah,
Well,
but I think, and I feel right now.
I agree.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah, I think with the portal, I will say, I think you see more movement from players in the Power 5 that can't get on the field. Perfect example, Jamison Williams. He wrecked shop at Alabama. That man could not get on the field at Ohio State.
That was weird.
You've got like
That's weird.
I'm gonna get his name wrong. I think it's Josh Cowan. He went to UTEP. Now he's at Arizona. Isaiah Nair went from Wyoming to Texas. Unfortunately, he busted his knee, so he's out for the season. Grant Wells went from Marshall to Virginia Tech. I think the movement, like, and I sort of keep track of the portal. I think the movement is somewhat equitable. I just think this last cycle, you saw all these Group of 5 kids go to the Power 5. I don't know if that's gonna be the norm.
I think it's gonna be a norm because, like, think about this. If I say, look, man, I'm better. If I decided sign my letter of intent, I'm better, right? I am better than North Dakota State. I am 10 times better than North Dakota State. I don't think I should be here at North Dakota State. You know where I want to go? I'm going to go to University of Washington. Okay. I think I can make my mark at Washington because it's kind of the same Ram type program, still in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, you know what I'm saying, Midwest, Northwest, whatever, but I can still get the same results. You know what? Let's go to Washington and let's make something happen. And that's what happens. They go to Washington, they make something happen, and they become a standout star. You know what I mean?
But I still think you're gonna see more. You're gonna see more.
But I'm 22 years old.
I still got
2 years.
But I would say for every Isaiah Nair who goes from Wyoming to Texas, there are 3 Jahmyr Gibbses. You understand?
So,
you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
I think what you saw this cycle, specifically to your point, comrade. I think what you saw is like the Group of 5 stars go to the Power 5. You understand what I'm saying? So, but I don't think that's gonna be the norm because number one, and yeah, kids still go to class. I don't care what nobody say. Like, number one, where I want to go. Number one, do they want me?
Yeah.
But number two, are my credits gonna transfer? Because if my credits don't transfer, I'm not gonna be able to play.
Yeah, that's a good statement.
Yeah,
that's a good statement there.
So those are 2 big ones, and I'll give you one from HBCU last year. Quinterio Cole, he transferred from Alcorn to Louisville, but that's more of an anomaly.
Go ahead.
That's more of an anomaly and not the trend. Because like Isaiah Land found it better to go back to FAMU.
But let me ask you this question, because we can talk about this all day. But last question. So speaking of like transfer portal and how, you know, the universities are jumping in it and getting the best of the best from the Group of 5, come to the Power 5, this, that, and third. Is that really hurting high school seniors? Because, you know, once a school grab you and
you know where it's hurting the high school seniors at? I'll tell you where it's hurt. Go ahead.
But you know what I'm saying? If the school is grabbing them from the transfer portal, they have to pay. That takes away a scholarship. So is that now hurting? Let's just say a kid that's a 4-star who has potential to go to a University of Miami, but yet instead they went and got a transfer from Alabama to come in and play the same position. So now does that leave that high school kid to go to JUCO or go to HBCU or go to a lower level D1? Like that's something I've been thinking about here recently. Like, the transfer portal is actually going to hurt the high school seniors more than anything else, in my opinion.
I would say,
you know who it hurts?
Portal and the COVID eligibility. Those two things in tandem.
Because
but
Stetson Bennett, but he can be 30 years old playing college football.
But right. if you look at what Coach Prime is doing at Jackson State, I think what Coach Simmons is trying to do at FAMU. Apparently, they got to get the athletic department together. What Coach McDowell is trying to do at Prairie View, they're taking advantage of this in-state talent, these 3- and 4-star guys, because Ole Miss took 33. No, they took 28 transfers out of the portal. They offered, and I think they had. I think Ole Miss had 42 scholarships to offer. So that means they only offered 14 high school kids. Half of those were from Mississippi. So that means if there are any, and there were a couple top 200 players in Mississippi this year. You know who offered them? Jackson State did. So that's an advantage. I think that's a hidden benefit for HBCUs. They can cash in on better high school players than they.
I got to intercept.
But I think there'll be a balance once the COVID eligibility goes away.
No, I think I got to intercept because I think it does not affect P5. It does not affect Group of 5. It doesn't affect the FBS. It affects the FCS significantly, and here's why: because the FCS only has but so many scholarships. Not to mention, because they don't have but so many scholarships, they have to recruit from high school. So they're promising these kids that just want to get out of their neighborhood, and they don't care how to get out of their neighborhood. They just want to get out of their doggone neighborhood. And they come to the school and they can't pay for school because, oh, hey, man, so some guy from Alabama did get on the field, but he's pretty good. So I decided to bring him on our team. That's where it affects because that kid suffers. And that kid's like, wait, you promised that I won't be out the hood. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? I'll take care of you here and there, but get a job at the bookstore, you'll be all right. And they find out the bookstore job does not pay for the classes. It does not pay for the room and board. It does not pay for you to eat. It does not pay for anything. Oh, well, what did you go to your SAT? Your SAT score wasn't that great. That's the only reason why you're at that doggone school. So this is where I'm going to leave you with. It's going to hurt the kids that are part of HBCUs unless you are part of Prime's program. And because it's hurting Florida A&M right now. Because like I said, I have 2 students right now that's affecting right now. And the only reason why it's not affecting one of the students because he was a 3-star athlete, and they recruited him out of high school. And they're like, look, he's a high recruit. We have to keep him. We have to keep him scholarship. That's the only reason why FAMU is not screwing him over. But the other one they screwed over, even though he should have been a 4-star prospect, but because he didn't go to these camps. And kids, let me tell you real quick. We'll look at the campers. Kids, go to these goddamn camps. If you go to these camps, get your stars. Just go.
Go to the camps.
Go to the
camp. Get the stars.
Yeah.
Please go to these doggone camps. Because if you don't go to the camps, you're not going to get your stars. And everybody going to be like, who the heck is this guy? Who the heck is this guy? Why should I spend money on this guy? Go to the camps. Satellite camps. Go to Mercer satellite camp. Go to Alabama satellite camp. Go to who's that? Michigan satellite camp. Go to Maryland satellite camp.
Yeah,
7-7. Oh, fine.
Hey, if you're a quarterback and you get an invite to Elite 11, go.
Don't say, oh, I don't feel like go. Deuces. I don't care if you got. Look, if you better be like Nico playing volleyball at the highest level in order to say no, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
you better be that. Maybe. That's what I'm saying. But at the same time, y'all see what I'm saying though, right?
Yeah.
It's affecting these kids who have been promised a trip out of their neighborhood. Like, yo, bro, I don't want to be home. Yeah, I don't want to be here because if I'm here, I'm going to wind up on the block. I'm going to wind up at 7-Eleven University. That's where I'm going to go. And I don't want to go to 7-Eleven University. So many people are at 7-Eleven University right now. Ask Randy Moss.
So I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna go to the film session. One kid that comes to mind when you said there was promised to get out the hood, and he kind of sort of made the best of it. Copeland, Jacob Copeland from the University of Florida. Where he came from, and he came. I forgot what part he came from, but he ended up at University of Florida. He was labeled because of all his tattoos.
Pensacola.
Yeah, Pensacola, with all his tattoos and the way he carried himself when he got to the campus. Oh, he's a thug. You know what I'm saying? But ended up being a very helpful student on campus. And now he done transferred out to Maryland. So I'm ready. Like, hey, Copeland, bro.
You got it back in blood.
You know what I'm saying? I'm ready. I'm ready to see you out there in Maryland, bro. I'm ready to see what you're gonna bring to the table. But hey, thank you guys for chilling with us on the yard, man. Go ahead and go back to the student center. They got $5 burgers today and fries. Tell them MVP you sent you. And you know all the AKAs, you know, bros, Qs, noobs, y'all enjoy y'all plot. But we
first off, hey, drama club is going on, so I want everybody to make sure they get the drama club because they're showing Glee.
But stop it,
the movie.
I'm going to sleep. But yo, all my diehard football fans, man, we finna do a film session right now. We finna knock out 5 quick games real quick. First game on point. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do the defending ACC champs Pitt versus West Virginia. This game right here that people are saying is going to be a game. It's going to be closer to what people are saying it's going to be. So I'm going to the professor first. Professor, talk to me. What are you looking for towards this Pitt and West Virginia game?
This is not just one of the better old school Big East rivalries. This is not just the backyard brawl. This is former USC quarterback versus former USC quarterback. We got JT for the Nears. We got Keaton for the Panthers. Listen, this is a pivotal game. Neil Brown needs this game at Virginia. I don't know if they've got the talent to win it. If I am not mistaken, Pitt is a 7.5 point favorite. I think Pitt has the second best defensive line in the ACC behind Clemson.
I agree.
Yeah.
They definitely have the best name of any defensive lineman in the ACC. The Bible man himself, Habakkuk Baldonado. Listen, JT may be running for his life. I like Pitt. I'm cute. This one's not gonna. I don't think so. The over under on this one is 51. I don't think it's gonna be that high scoring. You know, Pat Narduzzi's talking about he wants to run the football, and they've got 3 good running backs at Pitt. It's gonna be interesting to see who's gonna be the receiver that steps up for the Mountaineers. I like Pitt in a close one, but there has been a couple games in this rivalry which hasn't been played since 2011, and I'm glad not only are they playing it this year, but I think they're going to play it for the next 5.
Man, give me JT. Give me JT Daniels, bro. I don't care what anybody say. JT Daniels, man. Hey, listen. Mountaineer Nation, let's ride. Mountaineer Nation, let's ride. Mountaineer Nation, let's ride. I don't see Pitt winning this game. I'm so sorry, bro. You're going against a Big 12 opponent. Pitt is not ready for the Big 12. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. West Virginia's going to come in and they're gonna wreck shop. I got West Virginia winning it 22-14.
Oh, let me write this down because we're gonna keep tab of this here. MVP U students. So something we're going to do this year. Each week we're going to highlight 5 games, and we're going to all pick games, and we're going to keep records. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to keep records of everybody see who has the best record, and we're going to go at the end of the season. We're going to see who has the better overall record, which we already know your boy MVP JT going to be the top dog. I'm going to bet over 500. Actually, my record might be 750 plus. You know what I'm saying? But hey, so Connie saying West Virginia. And to be honest with you, I agree.
Okay, I'll stand alone. I got Pitt.
I can't go. Reason I said West Virginia because one, there is a quarterback. His name is JT Daniels. His third team he's playing for, and possibly this is going to determine if he goes to the NFL or if he's going to be just a high recruiting quarterback that never made it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point. That's why you the MVP.
Like
right.
this.
That's why we
season,
named the university after him.
This season here is going to determine. Okay, JT Daniels. He was a 5-star in California.
He was a 5-star.
A 5-star quarterback in California. Got hurt. All right. Lost his job. Came to UGA. He got beat out. He got hurt. And and the mailman came and he never delivered the mail back to JT Daniels. JT Daniels, he missed all house. He's skipping house. Now West Virginia is going to be because he got 2 more years of eligibility, right? Because he had the medical red shirt, and then he has 1 more. Well, yeah, 2 more years, I think, if I'm not mistaken. This year is going to be JT Daniels' year to show the world why he deserved that 5-star from California, why he was arguably one of the best quarterbacks in his class, and he has weapons. People, West Virginia is a air raid offense, and JT Daniels got an arm.
He does.
He has an arm, and he has the skill players to do it at West Virginia. My thing is, Pitt defensive line, like Professor said, Pitt's defensive line is arguably the number 2 in the ACC. I want to say 2A, 2B because Florida State. I like Florida State defensive line a little bit too, but I think what Pitt is going to bring to the table, they're going to blitz and blitz often. And can JT Daniel move around in the pocket and get the ball out to his playmakers? That's going to be the determining factor for that game. I'm picking West Virginia, but I'm going to say 38-32.
Oh wow,
38-32.
So okay, so I didn't give you points. So real quick, for those of you who wager, if you want to bet this game, I would A, bet the under. B, I would lay the points of West Virginia because I don't think. I mean, they're 7-point underdog. It's going to be close.
You said 33. Sorry, you said 33. What?
He said 38-32.
38-32.
Okay.
I got Pitt because it's real hard to throw from your back. And JT gonna be looking at them lights a lot. And I disagree with you, Jeremiah. I don't think Pitt's gonna have to blitz. I think they're gonna get home with 4. I don't like West Virginia's offensive line. Here's the thing: I like Pitt for 2 reasons. Because in the trenches, they bring everybody back on the O-line and D-line, and Pitt returns their entire secondary.
This is true,
right?
But I don't think it's going to be that many points. I like Pitt, but I like Pitt 2014.
2014.
So you're saying it's going to be a low scoring game?
Yeah. Because
I got 20. I got 22-14. Reason why I got 22.
I think Narduzzi wants to play a little bit more conservative. I think he wants to play the way he played before Jordan Addison broke out. So yeah, but
I'm gonna say this. The reason I'm picking West Virginia, 2 reasons. They have a kid that's returning, and he got some really good experience last year. Tony Mathis Jr. That running back. He's going to be he's going to be JT Daniels' best friend. One, because he can catch out the backfield, and he's a north and south runner. That if they can establish the running game early, I think that will keep Pitt, contained in a sense. But people forget that
it's gonna keep Pitt honest.
He's gonna keep honest. But the kid, Bryce Ford, I think his name is the receiver for West Virginia. Bryce Ford and Sam James are really going to be 2 guys to keep your eye out. And I think with their speed on the outside and what Sam James can do between the tackles, in the middle of the field and nitpick those zone coverages, it's setting up to be a Georgia 2.0 offensively in my eyes. Georgia like to run the ball, and they're gonna hit you with the play action. bomb down the field, and JT Daniels can do that. That's why I'm saying I don't think Pitt. If Pitt has to commit to one, and if West Virginia can keep them humble, I really think that it plays to West Virginia's advantage. West Virginia is returning a lot of players that people are forgetting. You know what I'm saying? They are returning a lot of offensive weapons that aren't too shabby, in my opinion. But I just feel like it's gonna be a high scoring game, and we're gonna make it, and they're gonna make it happen.
All right. So what's the next game on the docket?
Next game on the docket, man. This is gonna be a doozy. I'm gonna save that one. I'm gonna save that one because we're gonna talk for that one for a good minute. All right. So the doozy here, we're gonna go with the sleeper game. So me and the professor were going back and forth with this one here, but Houston and North Texas, and this what they playing?
No, UTSA, Texas San Antonio.
UTSA.
One of my favorite mascots, by the way.
The Roadrunners. So the professor was like, bro, we got to talk about that game. So Houston, in my opinion,
I got Houston winning because Tank Dell was gonna go slap off because he's one of our players to watch. Tank Dell is gonna go slap off. I don't want to hear it. Daytona Beach to represent for the crib. Look, I'm telling you, I'm not picking outside of Houston. I'm sorry, it's just too good to be. It's too good for me.
But so here's my thing.
Houston in the blowout, 45-6.
So hear me out. The professor, he came to me. He was like, bro, we got to talk about this game and do your research. So I'm gonna let the professor dive in first because he was adamant about this game.
Okay,
I'm gonna let him dive in first. Then I'm gonna give you my take on why UTSA might pull the upset. I'm gonna give you a little breakdown. I'll give you my pick. First of all, Houston Cougars, DeAnthony Jones, Chidozie Nwankwo, Cedric Williams, Nelson Caesar, one of the best nicknames, Sack City. They get after the quarterback. As I've said since we started this podcast, if you can't block and you can't get after the quarterback, you don't have a chance. Mm-hmm. I like Houston because they're old. They got a whole bunch of redshirt juniors, redshirt seniors, grad players. This game has the potential to be the game of the weekend. Now, the Roadrunners, they lost Sincere McCormick, who I thought was one of the best running backs in the country last year, but they still got Frank Wilson at quarterback. I like what they got at the skill position. They're going to play good defense. Houston is only a 4-point favorite in this game. 4-point favorite.
And the Cougars have to travel to San Antonio. I like the Cougars. And what the great Lee Corso would call closer than the experts think. I do have Houston 27-20. But I think the Roadrunners are going to leave Conference USA as champions before, ironically enough, it's like a volleyball rotation, right? Houston's going to the Big 12 and leaving the American. UTSA is leaving Conference USA and going to the American.
Went to the American.
Yeah. So I like UTSA to win Conference USA. But I think they're gonna come just a bit short because I do think late in the game, because Houston is deep and talented along that D line, they're not gonna be able to block Houston.
Score
27-20 Cougars.
27-20.
Okay. So here's my prediction.
You gonna call it upset?
I'm taking Houston.
Okay.
I'm taking Houston 34-27. But here's something that when I did my research on UTSA, and I actually I had time today, so I watched the game. Frank Harris is a nice quarterback.
Frank Harris is the truth.
He's bro. If
that young man is problem.
If Houston don't put pressure on him and give him time in that pocket, bro, what I saw in the one game I watched on YouTube earlier, the one game that I watched, bro, is really nice, bro. It's like he doesn't. He's not phased in the pocket. He just sits there and he will dissect you easily. But I think Houston's defense, man, Houston's defense led the ACC in just about every category last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they were 1-2 with Cincinnati.
So Houston's defense and they're returning a lot of starters. Yeah. So personally, I think the defense is going to carry them. I am going to say the defense may score a point. I see a pick six or a fumble recovery just by what I know that's coming back. But man, Houston, this game is going to be a very interesting game. Like you said,
it's going to be fun.
This may be the game of the week. Honestly,
yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a stamp on it. MVP University. This is going to be the game of the week. Houston, UTSA. We're going
MVP stamp, game of the week.
Game of the week. Houston, UTSA. We're going to stamp that as the game of the week.
Got you.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
What's next? What's next?
The next one. All right, we're gonna go to the obvious, man. We're gonna go to the big dogs. We're gonna do University of Oregon. The defensive coordinator is coming back to face his defense, UGA. So we're gonna kind of sort of we ain't gonna break this down too much because this is gonna be UGA. I got UGA winning by 3 touchdowns.
Let me see the line on that one. I think that one. Oh yeah, they got that. So yeah, Georgia's 17-point favorite.
Yeah, I got Georgia. I'm gonna say 42-17. I don't think no. I'm gonna say 42-21. Reason I say that because one, you have a former SEC quarterback in Bo Nix leading that Oregon offense. Do he have the weapons around him though? I don't know.
Well, 2 of his best receivers now play for Florida State.
Right.
I know, right?
His best running back plays for USC. Listen, I would have been with you, brother MVP, if former SEC quarterback was not followed by Bo Nix. Because it's good Bo Nix and it's bad Bo Nix.
And bad Bo Nix kind of when it's bad Bo Nix, it's bad Bo Nix.
And as I told one of my friends who's a huge Georgia fan, because he's worried because they lost so many players to the draft. I said, let me encourage you, my brother. The best player on the defense didn't get drafted, and that's Jalen Carter. He was the best player on that defense last year.
You think so?
Oh yeah. And guess what? So
you go on UGA?
I tell you this. So they interviewed Jordan Davis, the combine, and he asked who was the best lineman that you played with last year. He said it was Jalen Carter. Yeah, Jalen Carter was the best player. And here's the thing. They were so deep and so good. Like he didn't play a lot of snaps because he was in a rotation.
Yeah.
Oh, but you'll see this year, and you're gonna see it against Oregon. And I like it because he kind of plays between that 3 and that 0. Mm-hmm. So he's gonna be matched up against Oregon's best offensive line. Now I'm gonna tell you this: Oregon can bang with Georgia. Cristobal, there are a lot of things you can criticize him for as far as an in-game coach, but he stacked classes at Oregon, and he built Oregon like an SEC team. So they are stacked on the O-line, stacked on the D-line. I think Georgia may have some trouble running the football against Oregon because they've got 2 of the better linebackers in the country with my man Noah Sewell and my man Justin Flo. But I'll say this. Georgia is going to do some on offense this year. Personally, I love that you don't see very often. They're about to trot out 3 monster tight ends. Listen, Oregon has nothing for Brock Bowers, Eric Washington, Eric Gilbert, or Darnell Washington. What are they? Who? What?
But listen. Okay, I'm glad you said that. I got a question for Conrad. Okay, that 3-headed monster at tight end, Brock Bowers, Eric Gilbert, or Darnell Washington. Brock Bowers and Eric Gilbert are going to be your 1-2 punch at tight end. How do you see them, Conrad? How do you see them using Denzel? Do you see him with that big body, that number 0? Do you see that big body being a goal line tight end only, or do you see him playing first, second down, and kind of sort of learning how to do a run block? Because in NFL, if he gets to that point, his body style, he's gonna have to run block. And they didn't use him that much last year in the run blocking scheme from what I saw. So this is his third year. He's eligible for the draft this upcoming year. Do you think Kirby Smart is going to highlight that more so he can get a higher draft rating, or do you think they're going to just use him first and goal inside the 20?
I don't think your high draft rating comes from a lot of your blocking. Me personally, when it comes down to being the tight end, because they're going to get you to block anyway. They're going to figure out how to get you to become a good blocker in the NFL. What's going to highlight you is the freaking air raid city. So I'm telling you, they're going to be throwing it all through the air. He's going to be one of those guys that's going to be catching a lot of balls. He's going to be catching it in clutch moments. You know what I'm saying? They already know what they're going to do with Mr. 19. Mr. 19 is going to go ahead and he gonna run goals. That's all 19 gonna be doing. I'm gonna run a go. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. But Zero, your boy is gonna be making clutch. He's gonna be making clutch catches. It's gonna be air raid city for these tight ends. Blocking can be secondary. That's the two things you need to learn how. You need to learn how to tackle. You need to know how to block. If you don't know how to do those two things in football, then you're not a good football player.
But
point blank period.
But see, my thing is, think about Kirby Smart. Think about what he's done. He don't really like. I ain't gonna say he don't like throwing the ball, but he likes a 3 running back rotation system.
Mm-hmm.
He likes a heavy pack. So with what he got in the backfield and with Denzel Washington, do you think this is the year that we see more of Denzel Washington on first and second down as a pass blocker, or
yeah? And let me answer that.
Good.
He doesn't have to block. He's 6'7", 270. It's gonna take 10 minutes just to get around him.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, this man is a physical marvel. Run. He's gonna run seam routes all game. Who's gonna cover him?
Yeah, this is true.
At 6'7", 270, there's not a linebacker in the country fast enough to cover him. There's not a safety big enough to cover him.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, you 3rd and 6, go run that seam route. I'm just gonna throw it in the air, and you just because the man's got like a 38-inch vertical leap, so he's just gonna jump over everybody and catch it. You know when you would play Hail Mary with your big brother in high school. That's what he's gonna do.
But
I am intrigued by what Georgia's gonna do on offense. Because I don't recall any team having 3 just physically freakish tight ends. All 3 of these guys. That's why I call them the Monstars. These guys are freaks.
The Monstars.
I know there was some concern. You don't have George Pickens, you don't have Jermaine Burton, but I think what's gonna happen. So they got one burner. Adonai Mitchell can get down the field.
Yeah, AD can get downfield.
Those 3 tight ends are going to command so much attention. He's going to get one-on-one coverage. And then, listen, Georgia can run the football. Whoever the defensive coordinator is that week when they play Georgia, and we're talking about Georgia. Usually, talk about Georgia's defense. I'm sitting here talking about Georgia's offense. I'm not even concerned if they running it back with Stetson Bennett. Because Stetson can get you the ball. Man, listen, I would not want to be a defensive coordinator trying to game plan against Georgia. Because you're just not going to sleep for that week.
So that's gonna be hard sleep for.
So this is the last question for this particular segment, and we're gonna keep it real short.
Wait, hold on. Before I didn't give you my points. I'm gonna go kneel. I'm gonna kneel for this one. I think this is gonna be one of those games where it could go both ways. And like you said, you brought up some points, Professor. What Mario? What's his name? Cristobal. Mario Cristobal literally built a SEC defense in the Pac-12.
He did.
He literally went out and said, "I want to get the best of the best of the best of the best." And he got these guys and convinced these guys to come to the school. Now, that being said, I think that they compete against Georgia, and it's going to be closer than you think, but not just closer than you think. I think it's a possible upset here. So I'm going to go kneel, I'm going to kneel out of this one because I don't know which way it'll go. I honestly don't know which way it'll go.
It's a no-brainer, bro.
No.
They're in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, bro. They're 45 minutes from the University of Georgia, bro.
I don't care. Cali kids travel well.
They do.
Cali kids travel well.
But
I don't care what anybody say. The West Coast knows how to travel well because they're used to jet lag. So that's what I'm saying. Like so that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
So I need y'all. I want y'all to chime in. I want y'all to chime in real quick. Like give me a quick point, 30 seconds. With Dan Lanning being the defensive coordinator last year, having to practice against Stetson Bennett day in, day out, he knows that offense. He knows what's coming back. Do you think he's going to game plan to make them a one-dimensional team, one-dimensional offense?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can.
You can.
You can exit.
That's why I'm going nil. It's possible,
who's
Professor.
Going to guard the Monstars.
Look,
you got Elmer.
I think what you're doing. You're not giving Noah Sewell his flowers, because Noah Sewell is more athletic than you think.
Oh, absolutely. He's more like Noah Sewell. He's a monster. Man, 6'4", 260, runs like a 4.5 40, but coverage is he's like a chase and grab guy. He's not great in coverage. So I'll tell you, I like Georgia, and I like Georgia 27-20 because I do think Oregon will defend them well for about 2.5 quarters. And then Georgia's gonna pull out the boa constrictor because I don't think Oregon's gonna be able to sustain drives.
42-27 UGA. That's what
honestly, I like it to be like
you changing it for 21
at halftime.
Yeah.
If Oregon scores those many points, I'm concerned.
You say 42-27.
Bo Nix will lose you games.
We're gonna end it right here. Bo Nix is gonna be the X factor for that game.
That's why I'm kneeling out. That's exactly why I'm kneeling out.
Because like we don't know which Bo Nix is going to come to play.
Yeah. So
Bo Nix is proving that he can show up in the Georgia game.
Yeah,
I agree. I think Oregon bangs with Georgia for about 2.5 quarters, but midway late in the third, because Georgia's going to throw 3 running backs at them, 3 tight ends at them, all this offensive skill depth. I think that is going to gas Oregon late. And Georgia's going to do what they've done the last couple seasons, including the national championship season. They're just going to grind Oregon to dust late in the fourth quarter. And then probably pull away with a late touchdown or two. And I'll revise my score, so you'll probably see it maybe 34-20. Bo Nix will throw.
That being said, let me tell you something. I got a paper that I got to turn into you, Professor. So I got to get that paper started. And if I don't get this extra credit, I'm not going to be able to go to med school. So, Professor, I need you to give me the right grade. Go ahead, talk to us, MVP. This is your school.
Yes, sir. So, man, I'm gonna throw 2 more games out. I want a quick rapid fire.
Okay, rapid
fire, because we got 2 minutes left.
Okay, well, you go first.
Notre Dame, Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Ohio State in the blowout.
I'm going Notre Dame.
God bless you.
I'm going Notre Dame. You know what, man? I can't do that. No.
It's already on paper.
Okay,
sorry.
Bro, no, it's not. White out.
Gotcha.
Bro, I want to believe in Marcus Freeman, bro. I really do. But your first game in the horseshoe, ooh, I don't know. But
it's rapid fire. So
you know what? I'm going Ohio State. I'm going Ohio State
Next.
by 2 touchdowns.
All right, 2 touchdowns.
All right.
Next.
Last game, FAMU, Jackson State.
I got Jackson State.
I got Jackson State.
Yeah, because I think Jackson State's going undefeated this season. Mark, I said that. They're running the table. Can nobody block them? You can't nobody block them.
They got too much.
I'm
Yeah.
ready. I'm
Got
really
too
ready to see
much.
what Travis Henry gonna do. Travis Hunter gonna do.
Hunter.
I'm ready to see what
I
Travis
don't think
Hunter
he's gonna play this game, but
he's gonna be great in the defensive backfield because the D line is gonna be so disruptive. People gonna be throwing paper airplanes all over the place. Travis Hunter gonna have pick city all everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and keep in mind, FAMU is going into that game with those same eligibility issues.
Yeah. So this.
Yeah,
that's true.
they're gonna be really short-handed.
So, man, I want to thank y'all for tuning in with us, man. We kind of over in overtime. We had a good opening segment that kind of sort of dragged us out, but man, that's what we do here at MVP University, man. We sit in the student center, we sit on the yard, we go to the locker room, man. We just be on campus everywhere, man. We like to talk college football. We like to talk college sports in general, man. So do me a favor, follow us on Twitter, _MVP U_. Follow Connie Westside, follow Professor Pryor, follow your boy MVP JT. We are on all social media, man. MTMVU, MVPU, MTMV Sports. All these acronyms, all these M's and everything.
We just the M. We just the M guys.
We just the M guys. M&M's.
you.
But yeah, man. Thank y'all for tuning in with us, man. We love y'all. Y'all our family. We all a great body of students led by Professor Pryor and his great essays. So yeah, until next week, man. Thank y'all. And by the way, if y'all the 5 games we noted here: Pitt, West Virginia, Oregon, UGA, FAMU, Jackson, and Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Houston and UTSA. Tell us what y'all think in the comments or on YouTube. Let us know who you think will win those games, and we'll add y'all to our total. So us 3 versus the family. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see who has the better record. So thank y'all for tuning in. MVP signing out.
Kanye Westside out.
The professor. Go to class.
Man, look, man, I'm trying to hit the vending machine up because they already closed the goddamn cafeteria. I'm mad now, man.
Man, I gotta go to the corner store, give me some groceries, man.
Man, is it open?
We're finna find out.
We'll check it out, Professor. I'm borrowing your car.